see about under structures and master data, the prerequisites for creating work breakdown structure and customizing part. To create work breakdown structures in SAP project system, required to make certain settings like project profiles, user statuses, various profiles and editing masks in customizing. These settings will control the attributes and identification of projects. Now we'll see each and every setting in detail, starting with project profile. While creating a work breakdown structure, must assign a project profile to the project when we create. The project profile is the most important profile for the work breakdown structure. It contains default values and profile data for the project. When a work breakdown structure is created, the system saves the project profile in the project definition. When editing the work breakdown structure, we can change the default values provided by the project profile. Values for the project profile are maintained in the customizing for the project system. Whatever values we have customized in the project profile, those can be edited while editing the work breakdown structure, which are defaulted into. The project profile is divided into 4 sections: control, organization, planning, and controlling. Like you can see here, this project definition is the header for work breakdown structure, and the default values from the project definition will be inherited to work breakdown structure as well as WBS elements. When create a work breakdown structure using a template, we can use a checkbox to decide where the data for the new project will come from. We can transfer the data from the profile of a template project, from the template project itself, or from another profile entered for the new project. Like we talk about the different sections of project profile: control, controlling, organization, planning. In the control, the field key, simulation, status profile, etc. In the controlling, planning profile, budget profile, settlement profile, etc. will be there. In the organization, the org elements like controlling area, company code, business area will be available. In the planning, WBS scheduling, planning board profile, hierarchy graphic profile, etc. will be available. Now we'll see the next setting, editing mask. This coding mask serves as a display option for complex project numbers. They can also be used to derive the hierarchy of a work breakdown structure from the numbers of their WBS elements. In the project coding mask table, in customizing, the appearance of the coding mask in the project system will be defined. The way it is set up depends upon the first characters of the project number. These characters serve as keys for coding projects. We can create a mask for each key you want to use when coding a project. The following characteristics are available for editing and structuring project numbers: X for alphanumeric characters, O for numeric characters and special characters. In addition, we can maintain blocking indicators for standard structures and operative structures. It is not possible to create new projects with this coding key if maintain a blocking indicator. That means any coding mask has been created, but it has been maintained as a blocking indicator, so none of the project can be created with this coding keys. In the special characters table, specify the possible special characters for use in editing mask and also specify the following for the project coding. That means in entire project numbering, we can separate them with the special characters. So those special characters we have to maintain into special characters table. Whether the coding must be used, how long the key should be, and whether this length is compulsory. Furthermore, we can define a special character to be used as input help. If we enter special characters that have been defined for project in customizing in a WBS element field, the system transfers the number of superior WBS element to this field if this is the top WBS element in the project. That means the separator of special character will also define how many superior WBS elements are available to a particular WBS element. If this is the top WBS element in the project hierarchy, the system transfers the number of project definition. We need to modify the number just so it differs from the number that was transferred. Using the other indicator can define a temporary placeholder for automatically determining a project number. This placeholder is used only if unused project number can be determined automatically. So if you see the editing mask examples, now project IDs will be indicating the editing mask. Here X and O are specifying for alphanumeric R number, and the flags for locking standard are operative structures, and length of the keys and fixing the length and special characters and placeholders for temporary WBSs. So this is the customizing we need to do for project numbering. Even though making additions to the coding mask later, we cannot take anything away if WBS have been created already using the project coding mask. Now see, the next setting is status. A project is not static, but rather has a life cycle with a beginning and end. During this time, various business transactions change the project. For example, we can plan, post, cost, and settle. We can document the current status of the project with status management. The status determines which business transactions are permitted and which are prohibited in the system. System statuses have been set up by the SAP system to control primary business activities. We cannot change them, however, define own user statuses to attain a greater level of detail. We must always define a user status within a status profile. Therefore, we must always create a status profile for an object type in customizing before defining the user status in the status profile. So the status profiles for the user statuses plays a very greater role in the business process of project system. We can enter user status in the status profile and define which business transactions are permitted or prohibited. We can also specify the sequence in which user status should occur. A user status can be set or deleted manually for several WS elements at the same time. Individual status profiles can be defined for project definitions and WBS elements. If a status profile has not yet been defined in the project profile, can still specify in the application which status profile should be used for the first time. The current combination of all statuses of an object determines which business transaction can carry out. We can define the user status if want to control at what time certain business transactions are allowed. A user status enhances the existing system status. So this is about user statuses using in the project management, which influences the business transaction as and when required as defined in the status profile. Now this is one scenario we can see about the system status and the user statuses. The documentation and selection criteria is for project definition, allows and prompt business transactions of WBS elements. We can do manually and automatically also. Now the next setting is user fields and settings on the user interface. We can enter specific data in user defined fields for every WBS element. The system provides by default two text fields with 20 characters long, two text fields with 10 characters long, and two quantity fields with quantity units, two value fields with currency units, two date fields, and two checkboxes. By using this user fields, we can additionally enter the data in the project system other than provided standard fields. The field key determines the name of the respective user field and specifies whether it is ready for input. In case of field key change for the WBS element, the name of the user defined field itself changes, but the contents of the field stays the same. In case of evaluating user defined fields in the information system and use different field keys, this can cause confusion and lead to misinterpretation due to the different names of the user defined fields. To avoid this misinterpretation or confusion, we have to use different field keys for different users. Now in the standard system, the detail screen for work breakdown structure elements each appear as a tab page, like basic data, control, and user fields. Flexible detail screens enable to show, hide, and define titles for individual tab pages and display symbols for tab pages also. We can define up to 5 different screens for each tab page. The flexible detail screens created refer to project profile. There are two options are there. Create the different screens with the application. The detail screens are user specific. If create them within customizing for the project system, they are valid for all users. If we do not require to redefine all the tab pages, copy the SAP standard default values or the customizing settings to the tab pages or change these settings according to needs. We can define our own detail screens in customizing, and detail screens are then included in the tab pages. Table controls are used for displaying WBS elements. This means that we can manipulate the layout of other overviews. We can change the sequence in which columns appear and the width of columns using the table settings function in the upper right part of the table control. We can personalize the basic settings delivered with the system in a table and save them as variants. We can create as many variants for a table as required. To adopt the layout of a table control for all users, we can use the administration function for table control settings. Using the administrative function, we can also hide columns, define number of set columns, and configure the separator for the table control. The administration function can turn a display variant of the table control into a standard setting and ensure that this variant appears for all users of each table control when they start the transaction as basic setting. Now we can see over here the field selection which can be made it as only display or for hide or highlighting the label or making mandatory, and making a flexible screens whatever fields we require into the detail screens and the table control. In the table control we can see the right top corner the facility for administrative function in which we can make hiding of the columns and reshuffling the column order. The following customizing settings are need to be considered as prerequisites for WBS structure, like coding mask, profiles such as control profile, project profile, budget profile, planning profile, status profile, settlement profile, investment profile, and selection profile, and project types specify applicants and person responsible for WBS elements, priorities for WBS element, user defined fields for WBS elements. These are the major settings need to be carried out before proceeding for WBS element structures. Now we'll see how to do these settings in customizing. Now we'll start the SAP project system customizing for the work breakdown structure. So first, for the customizing purpose, we have to go to customizing guide, that is SPRO. In the customizing guide, we have to go for project system, under project system, then we have to go for structures, then operative structures. Here we can see customizing nodes for work breakdown structure. Under work breakdown structure, we'll start with the project coding mask. So project coding mask is the initial step to start any customizing of work breakdown structure. To create a WBS element, it is very much essential. So we can see here special characters for the project. It is already pre-coded in the system. Those we can see, or if required we can add some more also. Now we can see here there is a standard special characters in the project numbering, starting with the PL. PL, this is the value determines the length of the key used for the coding of the project definition. So this is very critical key to configure. So first of all, we have to decide over here how many characters we may require to codify a project. So here by default this length will be 1. So this should be some logical way we have to keep. So we can keep it as 2 characters for the company code and So we considered here 5 for the purpose of considering first letter for controlling area representation like unit of states. We can start with U, and next 4 characters we consider for the plant, so that the plant can be easily identified for which plant or for which controlling area. The next field is for SL. This indicator specifies whether the key for the coding the project definition and WS element must always have exactly same length as the one you have defined. It is not required. Now the next one is ET special characters for helping to enter the WS elements in the work breakdown structure. This is inverted commas, that will be okay. And next one is SP special character used in the coding of project definition. And similarly, the edit option is there. This edit option, we can use this indicator to determine that only coded project numbers may be used within the project system. So we can use this so that always we can insist for creating the projects only with project numbers. So this we are saving over here. So we are saving this request and creating the transport request for the same. So now we have started with the special characters. In the special characters, we have considered 5 character length for the project definition. Now we will start the next step, which is for the coding mask. Now in the project coding mask, we have to define the project numbering. So here by default there are 2 coding masks have been defined by the SAP. So we can start with the new one. So we will start with project ID. For we can consider for plant wise, or we can consider for controlling area wise. So since we have taken 5 characters for the project definition, project ID, so we have to enter your 5, that is starting with U for the US and 3000 for the plant 3000. So here we have to define the coding mask, that means the following characters how they looks like. So this is also should be logically we can consider. So next starts with separating with the dot, starts with, we can say fiscal year. For that we can consider 2 characters, and then 2 more characters for the serial number in that fiscal year. So these 4 will define the serial number of the project in that particular plant of the controlling area. So this concludes one more level. Then we'll go to the next level. In the next level we can consider which type of asset we are using this project. That means this project component can be for any asset, like it can be for the mechanical type, electrical, or civil nature, or pre-operative. It can be anything. So to differentiate the equipment package, we can keep one more character, like we are keeping here 1 character for entering the asset type. Then we can consider for the size of the project also, if required, whether it is a small scale, medium scale, or a large scale project. Otherwise we can leave it for the equipment numbering. So we can consider the equipment numbering. Next characters can be like this. And we are leaving this with the equipment characters. Then if required, we can leave one more character for sublining. So we can redefine this. The first out of the first in the first level, the 4 characters we are using first 2 for the fiscal year and next 2 for the purpose of the serial number in that fiscal year. And in the second level, we are giving a single character. We can consider this for sizing of the project so that we can easily identify the list of projects falls under medium category or a small category or a large category. How to differentiate the projects of the sizing can be considered by the threshold value, like 100 million can be considered for small, or 250 million we can consider for medium, or 1000 million and above we can consider for large. This can be anything. So we have to decide initially how the coding mass should be. So next character we are keeping for the purpose of size of the project. Then we can consider asset type or the direct coding of the packages. So we have considered here 5 more characters for the purpose of so here this is plant 3000 capex coding mass. So this we have created in this way. So if required, we can keep this level. And similarly, we create one more for one more plant, that is 001, and we can consider the same, or we can change. So again, we are keeping 2 characters for fiscal year, 2 characters for serial number. Then we can keep for the purpose of sizing of the project, and we are keeping for the package this, and this is for the plant 301. So now we have created 2 coding masks, project coding mask. So here some more fields we can see. We can, if required, we can lock the project whenever this profile we want to hold it. So if we keep the checkbox, then no project definitions or WS element can be created by using this coding key that we can do. And the next indicator for the standard WS, by specifying this indicator, no new project definition can be created for a standard project or standard WS element. So by using these indicators, we can lock the creation of new project definitions for operative and for the standard purpose. So this is about project definition, project coding mask. Then the next step will be the project profile. After creating special characters for the project system and project coding mask, we have to create the project profile. So in the project profile, the path for the project profile is customizing guide, project system, structures, operative structures, work breakdown structure, and create project profile. In the project profile, we have to create parameters for the particular plant, as well as we have to assign many other profiles also. And mandatorily, those profiles should be created before conferring the project profile. So first of all, we see what are the profiles are required to assign in the project profile. Now we can see this is the standard project profile created by the system, SAP system. So now we have create the project profile for our purpose. So we'll see first of all what are the profiles are required to be created before creating new profile. So in the project profile, we can see there are 4 tabs. One is control, another one is organization, then planning board dates and controlling. So in the control, here we have to key the information about how many types of project types are there and what is the project type we are creating for this profile. Like here, there are some sample project types are there. These project types defines whether we can say, for example, for the purpose of replacement, for the purpose of new setup, for a purpose of expansion. So these things we can define the new keys and we can use over there. So this is basically criteria for the project type. So if required, we can create new project types: replacement, rationalization, expansion, improvement, environment projects, shutdown projects, like anything. The next thing is field key. Field key, what type of field keys we require? If required, we'll create the field keys. Version profile and simulation profile. These are the profiles we have to create and assign over here. And project definition and WS element validations if required, substitutions if any, and project stock, whether we need to use as a validated stock or non-validated stock. In the status management, we can use our own status profile for the project definition and the WS, and in the graphic section, graphic profile, master data profiles. If required, we can assign new profiles over here, or we can remain with the existing standard profiles, and we can give the project summarization, whether all WS elements, billing elements, account assignment elements are required or not. Similarly, In the organization tab, it tells about the which controlling area, company code, and business area, plant, profit center information. Then planning board, here we have to give various profiles like scheduling profile and planning profile. You can see here planning board profile we have to give, and total tab profile, graphics profile, individual capacity tab profile, individual capacity graphical profile, list profile, and hierarchy profile. These are the profiles we have to mandatorily create for the creation of new project profile. And in the controlling, these in the controlling part, we have to use any object class are required for the investment purpose or a overhead purpose, and budget profile, planning profile, and if any investment profiles or settlement profile. We need to create first of all these many profiles, then only we can proceed for the creation of new project profile. Now we will start creating one by one the profiles required to assign into project profile. Now we will start with the various profiles are available, whichever are available with us. Starting with the new project types, what are required to assign into the project profile. So we will create some new project types other than standard, like we consider one is replacement and one is expansion, or we can say diversification, and one more we can consider for shutdown purpose, shutdown project, and we can say for environment purpose. Actually, these project types will help us to sort or differentiate the projects under the categories like replacement, shutdown, environment, expansion, whatever we consider. This will help us to group the all projects. One more we can consider social and safety. Similarly, we can consider as many as we require. So some basic project types we have created over here. This is the project type we have created for assigning into a project profile. And next information we'll see applicants. Applicants is nothing but who are the responsible persons for a particular project are WBSs. So here we can mention the applicant numbers, applicant names. So the sample data is available, we can use this. So this will help us to assign the person who are responsible in a project team. Similarly, this is applicants and this is a responsible person. Now, next thing is priorities for the WBS elements. So the sample priorities are already created: highest, urgent, and normal. We can remain with the same priorities, or if required, we can go for other priorities also. Now we will look for the profiles which needs to be created, starting with the project planning board, we'll see the time profile or a project planning board profile. So we'll start one by one. We'll start with the time profile. In the time profile, basically we will enter the time required for the evolution period and planning period. So here some profiles are already created. We can see the standard profiles which are already created by the system, and if required we can modify those things. The entry type in the evolution period will be number of calendar days and start date and finish date. So in the entry type, if we considering the calendar days, that means in the start date of first day of the period for which data should be evaluated. So that means here we are considering 20 days minus, and finish date here it is considered 200 days. That means date of last day of the period for which the data to be evaluated. So we can remain with this dates. So this is about the time profile, and the next dates which are available for the planning period. Actually, the planning period will be used for the purpose of how much database we need to be considered for the planning evaluation. So this is about the time profile. This is for the plan table, and another one for the planning board. So for the planning board, this is -6 current date minus 60 days from, and 2 will be current date plus 60 days for the evaluation, and same for the planning period also. Now we'll see the next profile for the time scale. Profile for the time scale. Here we'll define the period pattern from the time scale at time. So here some standard, you see the standard profiles which are available from the SAP standard. First one is for days short-term manpower plan. Here we can see yearly period split and quarterly period split and monthly period split, weekly and daily period split. So here basically hourly, so whenever we are using the split into the planning table, so this will help us to define what is the readings we need to consider for yearly or quarterly or monthly, weekly or daily, hourly basis. So here in the standard profiles, the periods has been already entered. So for example, if we consider for the yearly period split, here the value given for the minimum width year, that means the value giving the minimum scale for displaying the relevant period pattern in millimeters. That means 5 millimeters width for the split and maximum 100 millimeters for the width of the split. And here one more parameter is there, color for yearly period split. So here the color has been selected as S8. This is the color selected as S8, and this is standard colors. And the next parameter, that one is form type Y. This means form for the yearly period split. Basically this form category contains in the form group that we entering into the graphics profile. So this is also standard setting. So basically this is designing the planning table. In the planning table, how the time scales will be looks like, what is the width, and so mostly we can continue with the standard profiles which are provided by the SAP for our project profile creation. And the next one is define scale for time access. Here also we can see the standard profiles provided by the SAP. Here we can see the planning period units, time unit and length. Basically this time unit we use for defining the unit of time for the scale of the planning period. So that is 5 days, and length pre-evolution period, post-evolution period. And these profiles also mostly we can use as SAP has provided. If required, we can uh, change the length time unit for the pre-evolution period or post-evolution period, and we can hide if required network periods also. So these are the scale time profiles. Now we will see the next profile for project planning mode. In the project planning mode, this will be in different areas like general area, table area, and diagram area. For each and every area, we have to define what would be the settings are required, like what would be the unit of work, what would be the unit of duration, and what would be the versions we are going to consider, like this. So we'll see the standard profiles what provided by SAP. So this is the profile for network, planning board profile for the network. Here we can see the general data, work for one work, and unit we can consider for hour, or the standard unit is H also we can, standard unit H also we can consider here. This is hour we can consider, and normal duration unit is considered day, and duration is 1. Currency, if required, we can change it to USD, and versions are there, and progress versions we have to define the progress versions first of all, then we can assign over here. So we have to create the progress versions, and in the graphic profiles, the standard graphic profiles are displayed over here. And in the planning table, in the planning load table, whether we need to show the milestones or account elements or subnetworks, we can decide over here, show or hide whether relationships are required or not. We can select from here itself. The earliest or latest date, set of dates, we can decide into the planning table. And here it has been selected for the table area. Gantt chart usage is there, and if required, capacities, components, width of character, these are the standard parameters has been given. This is a standard view. Gantt chart is there 3, and width characters is 200. So as it is, we can use this, and we can see the diagram area also. We are changing planning board profile. diagram area. The diagram area also, the text type, text position, display of sets, and time profile, what you are considered, time scale profiles, everything will be clubbed into this planning board settings only. So this is the profile we are as it is considered. Now we'll see the next profile for the project creation. Next profile we can consider next we'll go to after planning board, we'll go to the cost part. In the cost, we can get the profile, but the budget profile we'll get, and we have to create the object class default for the project definition and network header. We'll see what is the object class is being used. So here we have to assign the object class to the project profile. So the object class like investment, overhead cost, or production. So we have, first of all, we have to create the project profiles, then only we can assign the object class over here. And the next one is we'll go to planned cost. So here we have to create the profile for the planning profile we have to create. So here manual cost planning in WPS and hierarchical cost planning, because we are using the WPS hierarchy. So here we will create or change the existing planning profiles. This is a planning profile created by the standard. So here the planning is there. Bottom up planning or planning elements are required in the time frame. What are the past or what are the future are required, total values required or not, annual values. If any primary element group is created, that we need to assign revenue cost element group, standard cost elements, and static key field group, costing variant, and this is the exchange rate type for the currency. So if any exchange rate type is created or standard translation at average rate, this also we can consider. And the next thing is planning currency, controlling area currency or not, automatic revenue planning. So since we require this planning profile for the bottom up planning or planning elements, normally bottom up planning will be the recommended one. So we'll create new profile. We'll create the new profile for this. Here we will create, always it should start with the Z if we are creating the new profile. uh, ZES US1. We are creating for controlling area here, so we are considering this. So we can say plan profile for US. So here we consider bottom up planning and planning elements also, and time frame will be okay 3 and 5. And here this is the time frame. It specifies how far into the past we can plan our budget for. The start year is the reference point, and for the future also same, how far into the future we can plan our budget for. The start year is the reference point. So 3 years past and 5 years future we are considering over here, and we are using the total values and annual values we have considered, and decimal places 2, and primary cost element group also, and similarly revenue cost element groups. And so we have to create the statistical key field group uh, for assigning over here. This is statistical key figure. We can leave it. Otherwise, we have to create statistical key figure, and we can assign to this. And controlling area currency we can use as it is, and exchange rate type standard one we have selected. So here we have created planning profile. Now after creating the profile, planning profile, we can directly assign to the project profile also if it is already created. We haven't created the project profile, so we are not activating over here, and we will move to next profile, that is budget profile. Budget profile basically we use to set the limits for the budget, whatever limits we require for while doing the budgeting. So we'll see the what are the standard profiles are available for the budget. So here in the budget profile, how much time frame we can consider for the past and future, 3 years and 5 years, and how many decimal places we have to allow, and what is the activity type we have to consider. What is the activity type we have to consider? This determines whether and how the availability control should be activated. So here this activation type, automatic activation we can consider during budget, or it is not activated. That means whenever the commitment or actual posting taking place, the budget availability needs to be checked or not. So here we can specify automatic checking of the budget, or we can leave it to manual also. So normally we have to use the automatic checking on the while doing for the overall value and releases also. That means the budget has to be controlled on the overall instead of annual basis. If you are not selecting, it will be checked on annual basis. Now the remaining settings will be same. So we will create one more profile budget profile. So this will be for the years 1. So we can say the budget profile year 01. So here we are changing the activation type to 1, automatic activation for the overall budget and while releasing. So these are the only changes we are making to the standard one. So here we have created new budget profile. So before using this activation type, we have to mandatorily use the tolerance limits also, because if we are asking the system to check the availability of the budget, then we have to give the tolerance limits. At what point it should give the warning message, at what point it should give the error message. So now we have to create the tolerance limit. Now we have created the budget profile. Now we'll see the next one. Next one we have to see the tolerance limits. So we'll go to the tolerance limits. This is the tolerance limit. Here in the tolerance limit, basically this is also based on the profiles will be there. So here we have to assign the, we'll create the new one, and our controlling area will be US. Controlling area is US01. Then the profile we have already created for the budget, that is US1. Now here we have to use the target group. Target group normally we have to assign for the all groups, so we'll use ++. Otherwise, we can use only budget profile for the purpose of PRs or PO or orders, goods issue, like that. So it is always better for the all activity groups. Then this is activity. When this activity appears, what type of message to be given at what value. So here, first of all, we start with warning. Warning has to be given at the usage of 85%, and absolute variance is same, and currency it will be taken from the controlling area. Then one more we will create for the same profile. This will be the again all activity groups. Here we consider for error message. Error message will be 100. Upon reaching the budget 100, system will give a error message. Upon reaching to the 85% of the budget, system will give the warning. So here we have created the tolerance limits for our budget profile. We have created the tolerance limit for the budget profile. Now we can see other profiles which are required for the project profile. This is the budget profile we need to assign to the project definition. We can do it in directly in the project profile page. So now we'll see whether number ranges are created. Yes, number ranges are already there. So this is about the budget profile, and we'll go to the next profile. Next we create the settlement profile, which is required for the settlement. So this is per system cost and automatic and period allocations. Here we have to go to into settlement. In this settlement, so one is for the cost elements, which are the cost we need to consider, and second one is first of all settlement profile. Here we have to create the allocation structure. So we'll see the existing allocation structure. There is one allocation structure as created for CO settlement, detail split, no split, PM allocation structure. So similarly, we will create one more allocation structure for PS. PS allocation structure, and we'll see the required assignments. Once we copy it from the allocation structure PM to PS, system will try to copy each and every section of the PM. Now we can check whether existing assignments are okay or not. Here there are 4 assignments are there, 1, 5, 0, 1, 0, 6. We can not like as PM. In the PS we doesn't require most assignments. We require only one assignment, that is nothing but material cost. So we keep only one material cost here. So we can take it out the remaining one. Material cost will keep, and we'll go to the source. The cost element group is assigned. So we can see what is this cost element group. This is about the maintenance cost. So if required, we can take only material cost. Material related expenses are packing material, raw material, other material. So we can use the same cost element group also. Now the next thing is assignment of cost elements. Separately, if required, we can use this cost element. And settlement cost elements. So here in PS, in case of PS, there will not be any cost center. Here it will be WBS and fixed asset. You can see here either WBS or asset will be there as settlement cost elements. So this we have created the allocation structure. Now after creating the allocation structure, source structure is not required for our purpose, then we can go for settlement directly, settlement profile. Go for settlement profile. Here in the settlement profile, we have to decide. There are standard settlement profiles are already created. So now we'll see one is for the maintenance order, one is for investment order, one is for network. The settlement profile we can see for the network what we require for the WBS settlement to AUC, settlement asset under construction. So here it is to be settled full, and allocation structure we have created PS. So we will use the same allocation structure PS what we have created over here, and default object type will be fixed asset, and indicator, in the indicators this validation 100% validation also we can use, because the distribution rule will be checked for particular assignment to the assets. If it is crossing for more than 100, it will be checked. Then percentage will be settlement, equivalence of number, amount settlement, and in the GL and in the receivers we required only fixed asset. Fixed asset. So we'll create new settlement profile like ZPS AUC. So here we are changing our allocation structure, and we are using 100% validation and amount settlement also, and this fixed asset we can consider it as a optional one. So we have created the settlement profile. If any parameters are changing from the standard, it is always advisable to use the customized profile instead of changing the SAP standard profiles. SAP standard profiles are always required for the reference purpose. So we have created the settlement profile, and next thing will be settlement rule for work breakdown structure element. Here we will see what would be the strategy for the settlement rule. So here we have to specify the account assignment element and settlement profile. So we are creating strategy 1, and this will be settlement strategy. For this we are creating the settings. Settings like account assignment, element we are account assignment element we are taking, and organic chain and settlement profile. Settlement profile, we have created one new settlement profile, that is ZPS AUC. Now similarly we will create one more strategy. Basically this strategy we are defining for the purpose of which objects needs to be considered for the settlement. So here we are considering only account assignment elements, not billing elements. So in the next step we will create one more strategy. One more strategy, if we are having any different settlement profile. Since we have created only one settlement profile, so we will use with one settlement strategy only. So in the settlement strategy, we have selected account assignment elements. So this is the strategy for the settlement rule. So the next thing we will take, the next setting we will see for the value categories. In the value categories, cost under value categories, you see what are the value categories are created for the project systems. So the value categories consist an interval for one or more cost elements, commitment items, and statistical figures. So here we will create some value categories like TU01, non-aggregated POC. Actually, these value categories, what we are creating, are required for the purpose of evaluating the quantities for the progress values, progress analysis, for the purpose of progress analysis of a project. By using the value categories, will evaluate the progress of the project. Like non-aggregated POC we are considering. Here we want to see the progress of a project not by the cost. This will be statistical total values, you can say. So here we are using the statistical key figures with total values we are using. One is for non-aggregated POC, and one more we create for aggregated POC. That is also we use as a percentage. Then this is also we'll use statistical key figure with total values. Then one we use for result analysis. This is also we'll use for statistical key figure at total values, and we use for planned and actual. So here again total values. So here we are using the all value categories for statistical key figure with total values. We are not considering for the cost updating, we are not considering for the revenue updating. We are using only for the total values updation. So this is this we have created the value categories. So these value categories value categories we have to assign by the statistical key figures. So we have assigned cost elements to value categories are not the value categories. We have to use these statistical key figures we have to assign. So we have to go to progress analysis. For that, before proceeding for the progress analysis, we will finish one more thing, that is automatic in the plan cost. We can see automatic cost that we will consider with the networks. So then we will go to directly to progress. In the progress we have progress analysis, and progress tracking. So we'll start with the progress analysis. In the progress analysis, we will maintain the progress versions. This progress versions basically we are using for the control data of calculating percentage of completion and earned values. So we are creating some progresses over here, like progress analysis version. So first of all we have to create these versions, then we have to assign. So we are creating the versions. creating the settings for this. So our controlling area is US01, and here we are giving the description for NPA progress version. This is progress analysis, and version we are considering 0, and this is evaluation basis. This is cost plan, and POC weighting will be by the weight, and this is a basic date and earliest possible. Actual method and reference plan method we have considered. And similarly, this is for settings for progress analysis. Similarly, we'll create one more. Like you consider this so we create one more progress analysis. One is for planning and one is for project annual values, and this is for work-based active project, base types, and latest possible actual method. So this is again required for variance purpose. So we have created the progress versions, and next one we will create statistical key figure for percentage of completion. So in the statistical key figures, for this controlling area US01, basically this statistical key figures will be created and assigned to the POCs for evaluating the progress, like non-aggregated, aggregated, and result oriented. So now we'll create the statistical key figures for POC. PS01 and the usage for non-aggregated POC and statistical key figure. So here we have to assign the statistical key figure. For that we have to create the statistical key figures, that is KK01. So here we have to first of all ensure that this in the controlling area is 01, and we will create the statistical key figure US non-aggregated P1. So this will be non-aggregated POC, and here it will be percentage. So this will be at the total values. This is one, and similarly we require the statistical key figures for aggregated also and result analysis also. So we will create one more aggregated P01. This is aggregated POC. These also percentage and total value. And one we have to create for result analysis. This is POC for result analysis. Again, this is percentage total values. So we have created three statistical key figures. Now we'll assign the non-aggregated percentage of completion. This is non-aggregated. Save. Now we are creating the statistical key figures. We are creating SKFs. For progress. similarly, we have to create one more. We'll copy this and change it to aggregated, and we'll select the aggregated POC. And we have to create one more, that is for result analysis. So we have created 3 statistical key figures for progress. After creating the statistical key figures for progress, we have to create measurement methods. Actually, this measurement methods will be used for determining a POC, percentage of completion. Now we can see here existing POCs. One is 0 to 100 method, 0 to 100 method, and similarly 20 to 80 method. So basically these are the measuring methods for calculation of POCs. So we can create uh, one measuring method for planning and actual values for the measurement. So we'll use here ZUS. This is earned value analysis. So text will be quantity and quantitative method. Here our technique will be quantity proportional, and maximum will be 100. And here we have to create one statistical key figure for planning and actual purpose also. So again, we have to create one. This is for planning and actual P1. Escape actual values. This will be each and the total. So we are going to use the escape for this. So here we have created measurement method for the progressive analysis. So this is for the quantitative method. Similarly, if required, we can create for some other methods also. Now we have to create the measurement method as default values. Actually, we create this measurement method for the calculation of POC as default values for various object types in the project system. So we have different objects in the project system. So first of all, we consider for the WBS element with the measurement methods. So now we'll see we have progress versions we already created, like NPA progress analysis, and object type we consider for the activity internal processing, and this is planning. Measurement method will use time proportionality. This is we are using measurement method defaults. So similarly, we have to create one more for actual also. So here this will be work. Now we have to create activity external processing planning. Again, activity external processing actual. So now similarly we have to create for WBS. For WBS we are using one is plan. For the WBS we have to use quantitative method. Similarly we'll create the actual also. So we create activity internal processing plan quantitative method. Internal processing actual quantitative method, and activity external processing plan quantitative method. External processing actual quantitative method. So now we have created the default values for two progress analysis. In one progress analysis we have taken activity internal processing and external processing with time and work. Second progress analysis we have considered activity internal processing, external processing and WBS element with qualitative method. So this is about the default measurement method for the project system activities. Now the next thing is the order type we are not doing. Now we'll go to statistical key figure assignment to value categories. So for that purpose we have to go to statistical key figure. This statistical key figures we have already maintained. If you want to see, then we have to click on the displays. These are the statistical key groups. Figure group. assign key figures to order categories. So here we have already created some value categories PS01, PS02, 03, 04, and this we will assign to statistical key group figures we already created. Value category PS01 and statistical key group we have created. One is non-aggregated. So non-aggregated POC we assign to the statistical key group. So this is assignment of SKF to value categories. So similarly, we will assign other SKFs also. The next one is PS02, this aggregated POC. For aggregated POC, this will select. The next value category is PS03, POC for result analysis. The next value category is PS04. This is planned and actual. So we have assigned statistical value categories to SKFs. Now we can see what are the user-defined planner profiles or layouts are available. User-defined planner profiles. This is the planner profiles we have. For example, this is SAPR, general controlling, and layouts. And we can next setting will go to information system. In the information system, we have to select some profiles like database selection. In the selection, we'll select define database selection profiles. So we'll see the standard profiles which are available. This is standard profile. So here the origin of and standard criteria and WBS elements, network orders, and activities. So these are the standard profiles. So we need not to require any changes to the standard profiles. Now the next thing will comes overall profile. overall profile for the information system. Again, we'll see the standard values. Most of the standard profiles has been taken. Structured overview, project definition, WBS elements. So this is also standard values are there. Changing this profile values will into the working of project definition and planning boards. And next thing we'll see we'll see about the costing variance. Costing variance will be available in the cost, and in the planned cost, or we can see with the network activities also the same. Now after finishing this, we will see what are the other settings need to be done other than in project systems. So one main setting we need to be checked in the controlling area, this project's setting was activated or not. For that purpose, we have to go to controlling, general controlling, organization, maintain controlling area. Here we'll see for US01 the project has been selected or not. If it is not there, we need to select for using the project management. US01 components. In this components, projects is selected. So this we need to ensure whether projects has been selected or not. Otherwise, system will not allow for using project facilities. And the next setting that we will check in the material management, that is valuation class. In the material management, valuation and account assignment, and account determination without wizard, define valuation classes. So here we need to find out the valuation classes for the project management. So the valuation class these are the valuation classes are maintained. Services, spare parts is there, 3040 for the valuation classes, and we need to check the same valuation classes has been assigned to material types. So this valuation class hasn't been assigned to any material type. Manufacturing parts. This is one setting we need to check, and in other settings, like in the finance document types. For checking the finance document types, we need to go to finance and accounting. Finance and accounting global setting. Then document. Document header. Define document types. Here we need to ensure whether the document types for PS related are available or not. Yes, one is asset posting, the number ranges, assets. These things we need to check for the document types in the finance and accounting. By default, with the SAP, all the document types will come. If required, any new document types are required, needs to be done. So this is the way to check the document types. Now the next setting in other application is CO versions, controlling versions. Controlling versions can be checked in the project system also. If existing are required, other than existing are required, we have to go for controlling. Otherwise, in the project system cost, there is one node for CO versions. So here we can see whether other than existing nodes, any new nodes are required or not. So normally cost versions we require, like budget version, commitment version. You can use so we'll create some versions like budget version. That is NBD for budget version. always this is for the plan. After creating the version, always you have to go for financial area. So we need to mention for the financial year starting integrated planning and copying allowed, and standard extent conversion. Validate will be the start of the year. So value variant we are using the CO resource plan. Like we can create something. Variant will be CO resource planning. So similarly, we can see here the financial year settings for other versions also. Like 0 version, financial setting is 2013 and 14. Similarly, for version 1, version 2, 10. So this is SEO version creation. Now the other one we can consider the investment things. Investment management, we have to go for asset class. So for that purpose, we need to go to other application like investment management. In the investment management, and because mostly projects are linked with the investment measures, so in the project as investment measure, master data, then asset under construction, different asset classes. So here we have to create the asset class for asset under construction. So we'll see what are the existing assets are available, asset classes are available. We see the existing asset classes. This is one asset class for asset under construction. So in this asset class, we will see the account determination and screen layout and number ranges and other settings. Like this here, the account determination is mentioned as a screen layout and number range and line items, settlement, and the other settings are other asset without real estate management. So in the asset class, if we consider investment measure, that will be useful. So we'll create one asset class that ESC for ES01. So we'll use investment measure. So this is we have created asset under construction. For AUC. And the next thing is determine depreciation areas in asset class. So chart of depreciation for USA is 1 US. Here we'll see you can see here the depreciation areas. These are the depreciation areas have been considered 0, 1, 10, 11 like this. So for this also we will see what are the depreciation areas has been considered. Same thing has been copied. And the next setting we'll see the depreciation types. What are the different type of depreciation types are available for the asset class. So for that we have to go to financial accounting, and asset accounting, organization structure, then asset class, then specify chart of depreciation dependent screen layout assignment. So here we have a class ZUSAC. Here we see this we have to take to chart of depreciation, that is 1 US. And screen layout and account determination are the same. So we have assigned this setting, then we have to go for investment profile. For the investment profile, we have to go for investment management, project as investment measures, and master data again. Define investment profile. In the investment profile, we'll see first of all what are the existing investment profiles has been maintained by the SAP. So this is one investment profile is maintained by the SAP. Here the manual AUC option is available, manage AUC, and AUC for source structure assignment is not selected, and investment measurement asset class is not assigned, and line item settlement list is there, anticipation valuation, percentage rates. So we'll create one investment profile. For AUC, we are considering this manage AUC option also. Then we will select AUC for source structure. Actually, this manage AUC is required for the purpose of automatic creation of asset under construction for each assigned object. That is nothing but a WBS element. And this AUC per source structure, it is required separate asset under construction for each source assignment in the source structure. Since we are not using any source structures, we will not use this. And here investment measurement class will use the customized same class which we have created, that is ZUSAC. Then this is line item settlement and identification valuation and percentage. So this we have created investment profile. After creating the investment profile, the next thing, transaction type for the asset we have to create. So for that purpose, again we need to go to financial accounting, and in the financial accounting, asset accounting, transaction, capitalization of asset under construction, and allow transfer transaction types for asset classes. This is we are creating for what are the other transaction types we have to allow for our asset under construction. So the allowed transaction types, like one we are considering down payment. Asset class we have to enter the same what we have created. So the asset class we have used the same one what we have created. So we need to see what are the other transaction type we can allow for the transaction types. So here the down payment for the previous year and transfer per year acquisition is summary, those are available. So here only we are considering for the down payment only. So the next setting will be asset sort version. So we'll see for the asset sort version. Capitalization. Next we'll see the short version for asset report. Again we have to go to asset accounting and information system, then define short version of asset reports. So here we'll see what are the existing short versions are available. These are the sorting for the asset reporting. So these are the standard things available. If required, new sort versions can be assigned. Now coming back to project systems, here some more settings we can do, like simulation version, stipulate simulation version. What are the standard simulation versions are available? We can see. So in this simulation versions, we can specify what are the things we can transfer: PS text, long text, and documents while doing the simulations. So we have created one simulation version. We have created CO versions, simulation version, and project version. We will see project version profile, the standard version profile. In this objects, or in one version, project definition, WBS element, network activity, component element are there. If you see the user status, profiles are not there. System profile is already defined. So these are the required settings we have made before creating a project profile. Now we'll create a project profile, work breakdown structure, create project profile. This project profile field length is 7, so we can use ZUS 300 for the 300 plan. So we can say project profile for US 3000. So starting with control project type, we have created different project type. We can say this profile we are going to use for the expansion and diversion purpose. Field key, we have created the standard setting we are using. Version profiles, the standard version profile we can use if required, and simulation profile we have created, and this is the level of detail is not required, and all under a project, all account as an element is not required. We can use some statistical also. That means not each and every WBS element can be considered as a account assignment. So we'll not select this, and only one route, yes, it is required. Change documents required. Summary master data, and display options 1, identification using the project number. The other display options will be identification using a short description, identification using the text. This preferable is identification using the project number, level of detail full 99, and substitution and validations we haven't created, and project stock we considered for the evaluated stock. That means any material being used for the project, it should be configured with the project validation class. Then in the status management, standard statuses profiles we are using. In the graphic, standard profiles we are using. And the next thing, go to organization. In the organization, we are using for the controlling area US 01, company code. Again, this is for the US 3000, and business area will be 3000. Plant we are using for again 3000. This is the plant we are using for 3000. And profit center we can see for US 01 controlling area 1400, profit center is there, and project currency is USD. So this is the organization data. Now we go to the controlling this error we are getting, result analysis key. Result analysis key, project analysis for project, actual cost. You can see AUFT. So we'll go to the After organization, we'll go to the planning board. In the planning board, scheduling profile, we haven't created it. We'll consider the standard profile. And factory calendar, we'll use US factory calendar. Time unit will be day. And planning method, we are decided to use bottom-up planning method, and basic and forecast also bottom-up, and calculation with activity without taking activity dates, taking activity days into consideration. By taking activity days into consideration, elementary level planning will be happen. Network profiles we haven't created, so we'll take standard one only. So planning board profile, we are using the standard planning board only. Planning board profiles, and total tabular profile, we are using standard tabular profile, that will be SAP PS. Capacity level project system. And the next thing is graphic profile. This is also we are using standard graphic profile, that is SAP PS. This is capacity level project profile, and we require graphic. This is graphic. Then individual capacity overall profile. Again, we are using standard profile. For individual capacity, that is this G01. Individual capacity graphical profile, that is again standard BSD02. Then finally list profile. List profile, again we are using standard profile. Now the next setting is profile group is PS, and time scheduling profile. Time scheduling profile also standard one we are using. And the next thing is controlling object class for the investment. Investment is the, we are not using for statistical or integrated planning. Planning profile we have created, that is FPS U01. Budget profile we have created, FPS. We have created the investment profile. Result analysis key will not use. Settlement profile we have created, and settlement tool strategy also we have created 01. So this is project profile. Before creating project profile, we need to ensure all other profiles are created, or we have to keep project profile with the blank, and while creating the other profiles we can assign the project profile there itself. Either one we can do. So these are the minimal customizing settings required to be done before starting the creation of work breakdown structure as well as WBS.